Hello, hello. Very good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day to you. Welcome to another live stream with me, 320 SimPilot. I hope you're all doing very, very well indeed. Today, a good bit of fun. We are finally back for another group flight. It's been about 5 months since the last one, which is really hard to believe. So I'm really excited for this one. Thank you all for joining us. You're welcome, of course, just to watch along. Sorry I'm a little bit out of breath. I've just been running around the house sorting out things that I should have probably had sorted already. We don't have a call sign. Right, I'm just getting the overlay ready for you. It wants data. What can we be? I don't know what Ansett code would be. Excuse me, just one moment. That's not working. Let's try that. Nope. Okay, the overlay's not going to work. It's giving us simple as an aircraft. I don't know how it got categorized as simple. It certainly isn't, but there we go. That's not much good. Anyway, ignoring that, welcome to the live stream. I hope you are looking forward to it. Today, everyone's welcome to fly along. If you want to fly along, all you need to do is load up Microsoft Flight Simulator, go to the world map, select the airport NZFO, which is where we're starting from. Make sure you've got the world updates add-ons installed, although if you don't, you'll still be able to fly along. And you'll also need to go to your username on the top right and select the North Europe server. And then in the settings for the flight, you need to make sure you have all players showing. You don't want to have just group or anything like that, and then you should be able to see us. I'm going to be using the DHC-4, the De Havilland Canada 4 Caribou, which is a slow, short takeoff landing aircraft. It's going to take quite a while to do some of these legs, actually. There's 4 prawns up there going overhead. This is a piston engine aircraft. It's not fast. Any general aviation airplane should be able to keep up with this unless you're in something really slow. But yeah, maximum cruise is 200 knots. The only thing is we can go quite high in this. It's got quite powerful engines, so we may do that, but it's still not going to be very quick. So that is the plan. We're going to start here at NZFO, which is the Fox Glacier Airport. We're going to take off and head towards Mount Cook and go past the airfield and go past Mount Cook, and then we're going to go past a few more sites and airports, which hopefully will show up as we go. I've made a route around it. The route is in the chat, or if you put exclamation mark route in, it should show up. And you'll be able to see it. Let me just check that everyone is hearing me. Sounds like they are. Yeah, and we're going to end up at Quintin Lodge, which is a really challenging airport to land into, Tango 004, which was added in the latest world update. So there we go. Right, jumping into the chat. Thank you all for coming along, and it's great to see you all here. I know this is slightly different, but you don't have to fly along today. I will, of course, be chatting as we go, and you're very welcome just to watch along. But, yeah, there we go. Now, it does, yeah, snow is showing up. Fly with Nick, snow ends. It is, of course, summer, or I suppose getting into autumn in New Zealand. Why it's snowing, I don't know, but that's what the live weather suggests. Now, I have, of course, got that wrong famously in the past, but we shall see. But yeah, great to have you all joining us, and over on YouTube. Lazaros, Nick K, good to see you. Igloo Food, Chickpoint, I hope you're all doing very well. Stephen Buckland, I hope you're well, and Ed Haslam, great to see you. Hayden J. Robbins, great to have you here as well. Thanks for coming along. Mike Bakey, it is fantastic to see you all. Klaus and Timo. If you don't have the DHC-4, I think it won't show up, so you won't be able to see us flying it. I think that's the way it works in Flight Simulator right now. But don't worry, it will substitute something else in. Over on Twitch, Igloo Fu, Lauren V, thanks for coming along and moderating. Tom Corwine, I hope you're doing well. 4 Prawns, Mr. Panacito, it's great to see you all here. And Dougal Nook Savage, of course, thanks for moderating. Thanks for flying along. And I hope you're doing very well as well. Great to have you here. Right. So yeah, we've got a bit of a route set up. Let me just get the streaming software. So I'm going to do a cold and dark startup of this aircraft. Now, there's been a couple of big releases for Flight Simulator over the last sort of week. And this was one. The Antonov 225 was another. Video on the channel is out about the Antonov 225. I haven't done a video on this one yet. I've been enjoying it a lot, though. It is a short takeoff and landing aircraft that was designed for sort of, well, it mainly got used for military things, but it has an operating cargo ramp at the back, so you can use it for power dropping, things like that. They're only about 300 built, but it only needs a 365 meter runway, which is quite amazing. Typical Airbus needs something like, well, 1500. You could get one in shorter than that, but 1500 is a pretty common sort of number. And that's pretty extreme, even there. But this is from 1958, so after this generation we ended up with the turboprops more than these one of the last of the big piston engines. I love this wing design, this gull wing. You don't see that very often at all. Makes it really quite distinctive. And it's got that ramp at the back, which we'll see later on. Maybe do a couple of parachute runs. And a huge, great fin up there, which is it's great to see. So yeah, I've taken the Ansett model. This is, of course, an Australian airline, but I wanted to pretend that it's been leased over to the friends in New Zealand to use for this flight. So that's why we got this one. I'll do a cold and dark startup. It's actually not too difficult to do on this aircraft. It's relatively manageable. That's quite amazing to see the fading on that aircraft next door. Look at that, where we can actually see the frame inside of the interior. That's Cirrus Pilot. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And lifetime is beautiful. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens. Oh, not that one. Yeah, I have live weather. I don't have live time on. But let's try it out. There we go. Right, perfect. Oh, maybe we will go for live weather, live time then. Dawn, it's just breaking. New Zealand, an absolutely stunning country, of course. So maybe we'll start off like this. Let's see how it goes. See if it's too dark. Ed sim crash. Oh no. And I've lost my connection. That's a disaster. It doesn't look like it has. It's still showing everyone, so I'm going to ignore that for now. I can actually see Ed over there, unless mine's running in the past. But yeah, there we go. Right. So, Carlos, thanks for the follow. Let's get this airplane up and running. And yeah, live weather, live time now then, as is a popular vote. So, inbuilt checklist is very good. We're going to use that, and then we'll get going and underway. For starting engine, parking brake is... There we go, connected. Thank goodness. Set carburetor heat cold. Let's just check where that is. So that is cold. Yeah, magnetos on. The magnetos are down here. So they go, I'm going to put them to both. There we go. They are on. Mixture is at cutoff. That's those levers over here. Prop levers, max RPM. Put the flaps up. Max RPM on the props. Throttle open a little bit. Landing gear. Where's the landing gear? Over there. Anyway, landing gear is down. That is ticked. That's a 4-star checklist. You see, it's nice and simple. A little more complex now as we start up the engines. But yeah, there we go. Evening, my Bakey. I hope you're doing very well. Sorry, this is a bit over dinner time, but I was hoping more people, if they wanted to fly along, would have the option if at this time of day, a bit later on. Okay, everyone's got it working back in. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Excellent, Ed. Yeah, maybe a bit of a connection issue there. We are pretty tightly parked indeed. That's just part says, you've been an inspiration. I've joined a virtual airline. I completed my first flight. If you think of doing it, it's great. There you go. Excellent. Well done, that Cirrus Pilot. Hope it goes well. Howdy, Dominic. Hope you're doing well. AC455, thanks for coming along and moderating. AC455 is meant to be in the ACA A320. Ah, yes. Yeah, I'm not sure how well it's going to do on the substitutions today. Right, propeller area is clear. Good old piston engine start up here. Just got the ground staff in front. Battery switch on, so we don't want to sit with the batteries on for too long. You can get rid of the yoke, by the way, clicking down there. Battery is down here, and that's the start master. That's the battery. Now, I have the tooltips on, actually, left over from the STOL, but there we go. So battery on. Master start switch, which is next to it, that can come on. I'll get rid of those tooltips in a minute. They're annoying, although very useful at times. Let's put the anti-collision on. I'm going to put wing inspection on. I'm going to put wing and tail on. There we go. So we're telling the world around us that we are now in a live aircraft. We're thinking of moving. Love wing inspection on these old airplanes. This is not an airplane I'd want to be caught out in icing on. Beacon is on. Engine 2, fuel boost goes to normal. So fuel boost pump is here. Normal. Engine 2, start switch goes to the right. Now, you're supposed to do start switch, prime, check for oil pressure, and then you can add fuel. I can't do all of those things at once, so I'm actually going to add fuel now. I'm going to cheat. So mixture is rich. We go start, prime. And engine has lit 600 RPM, and it has, yeah, it's responding. Oh, temperature. Where's the oil pressure actually? I don't actually know where that is. There it is. No, that's DC amps volts. Where's the oil pressure? Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah. Anyway, all good. So now we'll do the same for engine number 1. I'm just going to cheat, put the mixture to rich. What's the elevation of this airfield? Okay, not so bad. Only about 500 feet. Yeah, so we go start, Oh no, we need to put the fuel on as well. So put the pump to norm. Start. Prime. And it's running. Great stuff. Richard Dudley says you can't start Microsoft Flight Simulator engines in cutoff anyway. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work properly. Agreed. Fly Aviation, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Fly with Nick says, annoying but very useful at times, the definition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Indeed, indeed. Look at that sunrise. Oh, this is perfect. Good, so that's it. We've done all that. Now we can turn the prime and fuel boost off. So prime off. Those of you who followed the group flights before will know I sort of do things properly initially, and then as the stream goes on, we will get a little bit more relaxed. Right, engine 1, we've done the same. Prime, fuel boost off, flaps up, done. 4 taxi checklist, radio set. Well, for example, we're not going to worry about that. I am going to enable the GPS. Where's the map page? No GPS position. It's very strange. Give it a minute. Hopefully that warms up. Unless I've missed something really obvious. Also, very frustrating. My streaming software is not updating. There we go. Right. Right. Really disappointing. I thought it would have the route in, but it's not going to. So our first leg takes us from NZFO. We're going to basically to Mount Cook Airport. So I'm just going to put in a direct to N. Ah, disaster. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. N. Z. MC. Which is Mount Cook, and we're going to go right over Mount Cook, hopefully. There it is. Right, and on the way, we should pass Fox Glacier. Now, I'm hoping it's going to show up with the sort of tool tips, as it were, or the visual tips. Nago says, enjoyed the podcast. Will another one be coming out at some point? Yes, another one. I'm planning it. It's not always that easy to get everyone in the room, but hopefully, I'm sort of hoping for a roughly 2-week schedule at the moment. That seems to be the most likely case. That is the current plan. Right, so before taxi radios, ammeters and voltmeters check, they're fine. Gust lock, unlock, that's this. Get rid of that. Flight controls free and correct. Now I've got rid of my yoke, but we can see it here. That's all good. And altimeter reading checked, which is the magic B key. Good. Let's just bring up the map and just make sure we're going from the right place here. Here's all our colleagues. Thank you all for flying along. Yeah, so we're going to head off. So I'm going to go down the runway into the turning bay and we'll go off in that direction. Brake test, flight instruments check. Good. So let's get some nose lights on. Let's get the landing lights on. Make it as bright as possible. Good. Brakes released. So we're going to head down there. Now this is going to be a challenge. Let's see if we can get the eye tracking working with the microphone. So we're going to do a left turn now. Brakes released, revving out the left engine. Love the sounds on this model, by the way. Really nice squeaking of the pedals. Now there is a delay for those of you who are watching along, so I hope it's not too stressful. Why is everything blurry suddenly out the window? Is that an effect for the snow? Iglu Food says, group flight from a runway that requires a backtrack. Yeah, we've done this many times. I'm not afraid of that. Ed says, flew around Queenstown earlier in the Caribou, and I have to say that they've done a great job with the what does that refer to? What's going on here? Come on, keep moving, airplane. Yeah, there we go. Right, brake test we've definitely done. Run up. We would do a few other things. I'm not going to do a system test, but it's pretty cool. They've got it. Gust lock unlocked. Yeah, trim set for takeoff. I think the trim wheel's over here. Yeah, I'm not sure where the indicator is actually. And we'll worry about that in a moment. But yeah, it's fine. Flap set for takeoff. So I'm going to go for 3 stages equivalent of flaps. Fuel boost goes to normal. And fuel quantity check. We've got enough fuel. Pitot heat needs to go on. Landing lights are already done. Take a briefing complete. Oh. Pitot heat on. Don't need the prop de-icing yet. We might do that later on. And that's it. Normal takeoff, brakes release, powers to max. En route climb is next. Good, we'll get rid of that. Let's get ourselves turned around. Sorry, everyone. This plane gets really bogged down in the grass or the snow. Right now. This is going to be a mess, this first one, but it will get easier later on, I promise. Quite a few Caribous here with us, which is great news. Did I turn off the setting to blur aircraft? No, I didn't. Good. Oh, let's try and get around onto that actual strip. It's sliding around. I feel like there's definitely some friction being modelled here. No, we're going to get off the ground. No trouble here. Crosswind from the left, that's no problem. Don't seem to have any strobe lights on this aircraft. Unless I've missed them somewhere. Just give everyone a chance to line up behind me. Got the landing lights on. Landing lights are on white. I don't know what IR. Maybe that's a bit brighter. Text lights on white. Okay, aileron trim. There we go. And any other clues for the strobe, semi-compass, anti-collision. I guess that's the beacon. I guess that's all we're going to get. Good stuff. Infinite224, thanks so much for the $4.99 super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Sorry I missed that. Infinite224 says, just passed all my CAA ATPL exams. Thank you for all your great videos that kept me sane during that hard time. That's fantastic news. Great to hear it. You'll be flying in no time, but that's amazing. So well done. That's a hard thing and a big moment. So congratulations, Infinite224. I'm so glad you enjoyed the videos. Good luck with the rest of the training, and thank you so much for the very kind super chat. Really, really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. But yeah, that's great news. Absolutely fantastic. Well done. Well done indeed. Right. Good job this isn't an Anton 225 group flight, says Ed. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen one yet. Okay. So this is going to be quite an interesting strip. This is Fox Glacier. It's clearly not designed for an aircraft quite as big as this, but I think we're going to manage just fine. And we're going to take off and then make a bit of a left turn and head down past Mount Cook. So let's go. Brakes are being held. Full power. Brakes released. Now it does have a bit of yaw, this aircraft, being, I think the propellers turn in the same direction. So just like the dash, you do actually need to use a little bit of rudder trim, which a little bit of right rudder required here, and up we go. No trouble. Positive climb. Gear up. Oh no, gear's up there. No trouble at all. It's remarkable. But when you're at these low speeds with high power settings, it does need a bit of right rudder. I'm going to not do too much with it because it's very slow to respond until we get over and on the way. That's simple. Yeah, I don't know why it's coming up as a simple. Very strange one. I don't know what's over there, but we mustn't get too distracted by all the en route stuff because they've added loads into New Zealand. So let's now accelerate. Flap limiting speeds are coming up, so we'll get rid of the one stage. Nice handling, by the way. They've done some great things with the handling of this aircraft. So as the flaps retract, the nose drops. There we go, Fox Glacier. Let's go via Fox Glacier. How does that compare to the GPS? That's going to be forwards. We'll keep climbing. We'll do Fox Glacier, and then we can go to Mount Cook, because Mount Cook's obviously going to be pretty tall. And I haven't thought this through at all. Right, we can go clean now. 105 limiting speed on the flaps, or the lowest setting of the flaps, 0 to 15. The limit speeds are between 80 and 105, so not too much difference there. Bit of nose up trim required. Right, let's go to an en route sort of climb setting, bringing the manifold pressure back because this is turbocharged piston engines. Manifold pressure back a bit and RPM back as well. I'm just going to put them into the green band, whatever that involves. A bit like going up a gear. Still needing some right rudder trim. Actually a bit more now we've done that. Here's Fox Glacier. There's everyone coming along. Excellent. I can hear a very noisy jet very close to us. The real AC455. Excellent. This is a really, really great add-on. They've done a great job with it. The model's great, but like I say, the handling of it is just lovely. There's Fox Glacier. I'm not sure exactly what that... Oh, there it is. Yeah, Fox Glacier. There's a runoff from it, I suppose. I suppose it's this thing behind us. This is the thing with New Zealand. You start to not know what to look at because it's all so darn spectacular. Look at that. Just as a thing to see. Unreal. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we'll gently make our left turn now. Keep climbing. See if we can outclimb these mountains. That could get tricky if we get too close because of the downdrafts. We're doing just over 100 knots. Now, I didn't actually do much planning of this first part of the flight. I just looked at the routes on Flight Simulator. So I am curious to see if there's any sort of valley we should have taken. Not really. This is the problem with going straight for a mountain. I think we'll just sort of do this and carve in. So let's keep heading this way. Keep climbing. Doing about 1,000 feet a minute. That's good. And then we will make our left turn. So we're heading to that next valley. From here we're going to Mount Cook and then NZTL. And then there's a whole host of sites which we'll see as we get a bit closer around there. That's the plan anyway. Surprised I didn't show up the route I put in. Thanks, Lovely Jane Gaming, for the raid. Really appreciate it. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you enjoy the stream. This isn't quite what we normally do, but a good bit of fun if you fancy flying along. Our next stop is going to be NZMC. November Zulu Mike Charlie, if you fancy loading in. We're on the North Europe server. Coda says, do Airbuses let FOs have access to Tinet? Yes, they do. That's one of the nice things about flying an Airbus when you're an FO, is that you get to taxi it, which you don't on all aircrafts. Some airlines, I believe, do not allow the FO to taxi it, regardless of that fact. Loads of you flying along. Some excellent work here by this, is that a 1900D? I'm not sure what that is. There's 4 prawns. Beach 350. Duffers down there. Excellent. Loads of you flying along today. One of our biggest turnouts for a while. I know these group flights, I often get asked about them, and I feel bad that I haven't done one for a while. So I was quite excited to get one in. Because yeah, I think they're really good fun. It's just they take me a little bit of time to think up an idea. Karangaroo? It's like a spectacular sort of... Maybe another glacier? These mountains are pretty tall. This was a bad way to start. I don't know at what point we're going to be able to turn left, because I don't feel like we're out climbing them very well. We're doing sort of 600 feet per minute now. It's okay. How are we doing? Ed says, is that where Fox's glacier mints come from? Yeah, in the UK they're a typical sort of sweet. Okay, we're going to take this left. We're going to go into this valley. I think it's our best bet. Now this is, I can't stress this enough. Again, this is not for any real world use or instruction or anything like that. I don't fly general aviation particularly, and I certainly don't do intra-mountain flying in piston engine aircraft. If I fly into a valley, it will be with a lot of guidance as to exactly where and when and how and routes in and out. So what we're doing here is just a bit of fun, because this might be a bit tricky. We are not... I thought we'd climb a little bit better. I thought 1,000 feet a minute would be sort of maintained. That is turning out to be pretty untrue. Nice stable aeroplane though, with that high wing design. I'm not really having to touch it. What we're going to get is these downdrafts. There's the sun just starting to clip the top of that cloud. How do they do it? I'm really endlessly amazed by this game. The sim. Look at that. Beautiful. what the problem here is, and this has killed many people in real flying, is you don't know if you're going to make it, and then if you go into a turn, you're going to lose performance. The only thing we've got going for us is we're in a turbocharged, powerful piston aircraft, so I think we're not losing as much performance as we climb as some aircraft would. That is the theory. Lovely, Jen. Thanks very much. I hope your stream went well. We can do this. We can do this. Incredible scenery. There's maybe a little escape route there. Still looks wide enough to turn around in, but they often do until they aren't. So our rough plan. Can't believe we can't even get to my first waypoint. Not the first time I've had trouble doing this. Problem is we're not even going to clear these ones. Goodness knows what's beyond them. I'm hoping that line there is this ridge that we can see. Coda says, what would you say is the best route for training? Integrated or longer way? It really depends on the situation. If a cadet scheme comes up and it's integrated, then that could be ideal. But, yeah, not always. The other problem we get now is as we get closer and closer to these hills, we're going to be at the whim of the downdrafts because air is going to be rushing over these in a direction and it could be working against us. Those of you who've done all of our group flights might remember when I led us to the wrong airport. Yeah, we've got no chance of doing this. No chance, no chance. Still doing 100 odd knots, 110. Maybe a bit of a left turn. We'll follow this valley for a bit. Keep climbing. This aircraft has a ceiling up above 20,000 feet, so this should be totally doable. 24,000 feet. It's just going to take forever to get there. We're passing 5,000, and honestly, it feels pretty similar to doing it in a piston aircraft. Although I have dropped the manifold pressure, so that's not helping. Let's get that back up. You can see that we're actually leveled off now in the turn. Get a bit more power on, and the flap's definitely all the way up. Yeah, flaps are up. Sun's rising. This is going to take a while. I hope you're enjoying it. Oh, here we go. Here's that sunshine. That'll give us some lift. You can see how you can get trapped in these, though, in these valleys. I'm actually going to cheat. I'm going to give us a bit more RPM now. Let's see if that helps. Oh, the lights are sort of dimmed. Is that automatic? I don't know. It's that sun sort of gaze they do. Okay, 110 knots. Maybe 100 knots is a better climb speed. Let's try it out. We can clear this ridge. Yeah, this wouldn't be a good mountain rescue aeroplane, would it? Actually need to get through there. One of these must be Mount Cook. We might move on from Mount Cook. The only reason I wanted to get there was because there's a few. Well, these are all the mountains around it. Let's see. Let's see. There should be some. It should be sort of identified as well. I did put the places of interest on, but it doesn't seem to be. Oh, there's the sun. Beautiful. Doesn't seem to be showing up much. (105 knots). Caution terrain ahead. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we're just a bit too far away. Somebody's house. Right, here we go. Left turn. Nice little gap here just for us. Oh, wow. Wow. Sort of stuff you don't get to do really flying, because it's dangerous and not the right way to do it. Look at that propeller. That's a reassuring propeller. Getting a few bumps now off the mountains as expected. Now that's interesting. We've lost our RPM gauge. How strange. I wonder why. And we've lost our manifold pressure gauge. Okay, interesting. Have we got a bit of icing of some variety? Not sure. We've lost our vacuum system. We've run out of battery. That's what we've done here. I thought the lights had gone off. That would explain it. Right, there we go. Helps with an alternator. So that's on and on. Good. AC motor running. Okay. Right, now we can bring the RPM back. Let's level out for a little bit. Ah, yes. Look at this. Beautiful. I was hoping this would be a spectacular route, and despite those initial challenges there, I think it has proved to be. There's Ed. Excellent. Yeah, this isn't the sort of flying I want to have done in a piston aircraft. So we won't stop at Mount Cook then. We'll head down to NZTL. I think these are lakes. Sort of spectacular lakes. No autopilot that I've managed to find on this aircraft, which is going to make this interesting. N Z T L. What happened there? Got to do that again. What's this then? Another glacier? What's down there? Tasman River. That's what we're flying over now. I mean, just past one of these is Mount Cook. I thought it would be highlighted. Sadly, it doesn't appear to be. There is Glentana. A little city, I guess, built onto the side of the slopes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful. Right, let's try that again. NZTL. And there was a reason to go there. Again, I'm disappointed it's not showing up. Alright. N. What's going on here? Okay, gentle turn. I think this is the right direction, roughly. We are slowly turning south. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And a lot of this. Z. T. L. Go. How do I make the range? There we go, range. Okay, NZTL, which I think leads us on to some other sites. So that was Mount Cook done. We might stop at NZTL, and then it takes us to Benmore Dam. if you make it through to the end when we land at Quinton Lodge, you're going to find an absolutely amazing and difficult approach there. So we can stop climbing now. Sort of change up a gear. Yeah, maybe we'll stop at NZTL. We're sort of hopping over to the next lake. A bit flatter over this side. So we can save our engines a little bit. So we got the RPM. Now I might try just bringing the mixture back a little bit. Interesting, these thrust readings. I'm not sure what these are based off of. Suggests we got a bit much. It's got a percentage thrust, which is quite unusual for an aircraft like this. Right, let's try that. I assume what we could do is put this into IS1, IS2. Now GPS. GPS, and then just point to the next GPS waypoint. There we go. Not sure what much. This won't be much good to us in this sort of condition. It's annoying. It does need a bit of aileron trim. It's noticeable on this aircraft. I was hoping it'd just be rudder, but you can see that they've actually got the aileron trim built onto the yoke, which shows how often used it must be. I was trying to get away with just using the rudder trim, but it looks like it's going to sidestep the aircraft a bit too much. G-Point says, shame I'm not at my PC, otherwise I would throw some Wikipedia facts at you. Yes! Yeah, that would have been good. Sorry. Normally I have more facts. That's something I haven't done one of these in so long. It's something I've forgotten to do. Look at the modelling on this aircraft though. Just lovely. These are all just highlighted points really from the... I wonder what that is. From the developers. Beautiful, beautiful weather. NZTL. Right, we have to descend down a bit really to see this. Power's coming back. It's a military base. There we go. Hello, Gilbert. Hope you're doing well. Ed just adjusted the mixture on the auto bad move. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. So we've got the cities enabled. So is this a military place? Simon says, apparently Toliss are releasing the A320 NEO on 20th of March. Explain. Excellent. Very good. I'll be curious to see how it is then. Well, there doesn't seem to be much there. That's not really a very interesting place of interest. So we'll keep going past that one. But there are a few more over here, which is why we're over this way. Get the mixture back up. Down below 3,000 feet. Still a bit high elevation. Some serious speed now. What's that, 150 knots? Whoa. I can't see the name tag, but this beach is doing incredibly well right behind us. Waypoint's right in front. It can get moving, this aircraft. 180. It's not too bad, but it's still surprisingly slow for such a powerful machine. There's the airfield right in front of us. I'm going to slow down. Power back. Props to max. Power at idle. I'm going to put up now. To our first little landing of the evening. Get the speed below 105. First stage of flap. There it is. Gear down. Second stage of flap. Let's see if we can avoid even backtracking. I think we can do it. Third stage of flap. Getting the trim in. Props to max. Mixture's rich. Brakes are off. Gear is down. Fortunately, we are slower than everything else. Flat full. So if we can get away with just stopping on the runway and then carrying on, which I think we might manage. This plane is really remarkable. It has reverse as well. Reverse pitch on the thrust levers. On the propellers. I can slow it down a bit more. There we go. On the brakes. Not going to bother with the reverse. Look at that. Amazing. What a machine. Right, flaps to stage 3, which always seems to work. Parking brake is set. Let's just check, are we in the right place? We did it! Yes, NZTL. Now, I wish I could see the world map from here. I can't. From here, we're going to head sort of to Benmore Dam, which I think is around here, like the power station. So we'll take off. We'll head over. I think it might be this one. And then we're going to see if we can find it. I wish they'd show up on this map. It would be really useful. Unless anyone has other ideas as to where it is. But then we're going to go to NZWF. So let me put that in now. I don't know what Benmore Dam is, by the way. It was just on there. NZW. Wanaka, yes. Now I wanted to go to Wanaka for a reason. Is that I was very lucky when I was a child to be taken on holiday to New Zealand. One of those things you don't forget. And we went to Wanaka, and it's one of the most spectacular places I've ever seen. So I wanted to fly past that airfield and the Wanaka Lake because it was just amazing. I've always remembered it. So that is our next leg. Good. Right. Mixture's rich. Flaps are out. Props max. Let's go. 84 houses. Fun flying the 320 without auto thrust. It is indeed. Yeah, very nice. Brakes released. We're going to get out in the air here and then see where Benmore is. By the way, this aircraft is quite deceptive. You're sitting... You touch down earlier than you think. Look at that. No problem at 60 knots. Gear up. Church of the Good Shepherd. That's what I wanted to see. We're going over there. And look at the flaps. This isn't full flap. This is the 3 stages. Let's just go full flap. Look at that. Double slotted Fowler flaps as well. Hugely lift producing, but by that angle, a lot of drag. In fact, we could even head over to that observatory. Sorry, everyone trying to fly along. I'm not really giving you much chance. So yes, this is what I was here for. So the observatory, and then we'll go see if we can find the dam. Yes, Lauren V says almost 90 degrees. They seem to be. It's quite amazing. So actually, I'll keep 2 stages out. Get nice and slow. This aeroplane does have a stall warner. As far as I can tell, no stick pusher though. So we go to sort of cruise. Hour and RPM. Here's the observatory. Nope. Very cool. But there's some nice details to Sobo, as usual. They've really done a great job. The amount of content they're still providing for this and not relying on third parties. Amazing. Right, there's the observatory. Now we'll head down and rounds, which will hopefully take us. Yeah. I designed this route to specifically cover these places without too much going off track. But I don't think we're going to find the dam. So this is Church of the Good Shepherd, which I don't know what that is either. Probably my peak group flight Wikipedia facts was the Egyptian pyramids one. I think that's where I knew what I was talking about better. Well, not, I didn't know what I was talking about, but I had the Wikipedia in front of me at least. So this looks like a church. Indeed. Very nice. Very old. Expecting something a little bigger. So it must be important for some reason. They're not modelled as Fowler flaps, sadly, says Richard. Ah, that is a shame. Right, on way then. A full flaps, it looks like a sailboat. Yeah, it does really. Maybe that's the dam there. Not sure. We shall find out. It's on the way. Perfect. So flaps are up. RPM's back a little bit. Setting a sort of more cruise power. Get the RPM back. A little bit of leading of the mixture at 3,000 feet. Just a tad. I don't know how well that's modelled in this. And a little bit of left trip actually. We got a bit too much. Oh, there's a city we're aiming for now. I really thought we went inverted. Yeah, very still lake. Very still lake. Lake Takeoff. Yeah, I have not found that dam. Maybe it's up at the other end. Ah, and there's the power station. Now, what's so good about this power station? It seems to be a famous thing because it was specifically added in and I was going to fly past it, but I'm not going to turn around for that. Doesn't look too shocking. I'm sure it's a lovely power station though. Oh, yeah. Just the lake. Evening, Alex Underwood. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I can recommend a visit to New Zealand. I mean, I've only been as a child. I remember it very well. It was amazing. So, yeah. I still want to go back. Right, let's do it. Out. Expanded view slightly. Just let it gently climb. Slight nose down attitude it seems to sit at. Every time I see DHC-4 it does confuse me because I used to fly the DHC-8-400. I have it in Canada. Igdafu says, I think I saw the fires of Gondor lit. Yes, it does have that feel to it, this area. Maybe that's why these things are more important than I realise. So, we're heading to Wanaka. If I go through here, it should. There's nearby airports. Pretty sure it should tell us some ETAs and so on. I think he's managing that. So sorry about the overlay. It doesn't recognise this aircraft as an aircraft, it seems. One does not simply fly into Mordor, indeed. Phil Norbeck, good to see you. Phil says, just joined us PTN 107. Thought we started at 3 PM. Oops. No problem at all. I don't know how far we are through the route, really. Well, we're coming up on Wanaka. Then we got the Alpine Resorts, Queenstown, via some nice new markers around there, and then Quinton Lodge. And then we have a possibility to go further up to NZMF, which is another sort of it's a slightly bigger airport, but Quinton Lodge is going to be really hard to get in and out of. So they've done some really nice things with this aircraft. Where's that? There was a point of interest. I've lost it. Ugh. What you can do is you can have the lights in the back between jump, or you can set them to jump. We're still climbing. That's good. So you have to, if you go to this back panel, let's open this, and then we can put some lights on. And let's open up the ramp, or the door, which is the top bit. keep flying the airplane. This is why you can tell this is a particularly useful military aircraft. And now I'm going to open the ramp, which is the lower bit. It's pretty cool. Oh, struggling computer though. And there you go. Drop some cargo out the back, do a bit of paratrooping, whatever you need to do. That's great. Right. I think that's a city. Or a town. I guess it's a town. Thanks for the follow, RF Pilot. So we won't stop there. Quite interesting shapes though. I assume this is agriculture that causes this. Huge, huge fields. That was some time map. That's NZ UK. So we'll make a gentle right turn. Back on track in these sort of floodplains. Evening on Matt, okay? I hope you're doing well. Yes. Some of the DHC-4s are getting very... oh, there's some cargo doors open as well. Everyone's opened them. Excellent. That's definitely a screenshot material. Right, let's close up the door. What do you do both at once? I think you can. I mean, just everywhere in New Zealand's just stunning, isn't it? Do they overlap or do they sort of intersect? Nice. Great. Yeah, it's just very, very stable, this machine. It's very good. Now, I wish it would show me the name of this point of interest before we had to get all the way to it, I must say. Given that it shows you other players from so far away. Now, where's my... Why can't I see... Why can't I see the ETA? Oh, we're going to NZWF. It's not even on that list yet. Okay, well, no, that's working. I'll leave it there. Kiva says this thing seems pretty sweet. Yeah, it's great. I really like it, and it's... I think it's about, was it 16 or 17 pounds in the UK? You know, it's a little pricier than the Antonov. The Antonov is to me a no-brainer. I think it's great. As you can probably tell from the video, I really liked it. It's just unique, and I've never seen one done in the sim, and certainly it's been done really well. It's not just a novelty, you can actually enjoy it. This is a little more detailed. Got a few more buttons and so on, but In many ways, I'm surprised this one's more expensive, but I think the flight deck is really well done on this one. Like, so much works. And if you look at the texturing and so on, it's just a level above it needed to be, really. This is as good as any payware. Squeaking brakes, which I really like. Yeah. Yeah, this is a very nice period for Flight Simulator add-on. So what's that over there? Let's go and see. Braking left. Sorry, everyone. I hope it's this side of the mountain. We've got problems. Nowhere near heavy enough to handle. So for me, the Antonov feels very light. I'm not sure if that's just how it's set up. Maybe it is a light aircraft to handle, given the amount, like I say, the amount of roll spoilers. I think I said that in the video. Glenbrook. What's Glenbrook? Oh, it's just a little city, I think. Goes into the hillside. But I'm surprised because this feels heavy to handle. Some things I like about this, we should have actually done the auto feather system. It has an auto feather system. If you don't feather the propeller, it will drag you down. It will stall and it will spin. It's really very good. Yeah, okay. No, better carry on route. What are we doing for fuel? Where are the fuel gauges in this? Let's worry about that once we point it away from the mountains. Oil pressure. Thrust. It's pretty much the longest leg, and then we do an arc through the bottom. Here, people getting very close. Yeah. Usable fuel, there we go. Loads of fuel still. Loads of fuel. Dan J. Suresh, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Joe says it's listed as a rural industrial area. Okay, thank you. Yeah, great. We'll skip that. I think the reality is Microsoft Flight Simulator was probably very nice to fly. Well, it was very nice to fly around in New Zealand even before this ghost of an aeroplane there. What they've done here is just add a few extra points of interest. Now we are sort of wasting fuel. By setting this low down, although we're not actually that low, 3,000 feet, let's climb up a little bit. Just to, we'll get a bit of a better true airspeed and the airplane might become a little bit more efficient. But piston engines don't really want to go too high. Keeping the props on the max that we can. James, you keeping up? Excellent, James. See, this is very hands-off airplane, very stable. I'm not having to do anything. I love seeing them in line like that. That's great. Oh. Oh no! I've lost my drone. Why did it do this? That's annoying. Just try that. Nope. Sorry everyone. That's my drone broken then. Ugh, that's annoying. I'm relying on that. Sorry about flying there. Okay, we're getting there. James, thanks for the follow. NZWF, right, okay, round we go. So these airplanes tend to be stable. High-wing aircraft are stable by design. So when they bank, they tend to sort of try and correct themselves, which is why often they'll have a slight anhedral, which is presumably why we have this slight gull-wing style here, where it points down slightly. That's to help sort of destabilize it to make it maneuverable. And you get the same, or a funny quirk of the tail of aircraft with cargo doors like this. You get this, the back of the fuselage cuts up. So there's actually very thin, this fuselage area. So there's not much in terms of stability because it acts as sort of a bit of a tail. So they have to put a huge tail on the back. And that's a bit surprising on this aircraft because the tail is huge, but also way, way, way back. You feel like they could chop off the airplane here, put the tail here. Why not? But that's where it is. Now, I haven't been to Wanaka for years and years and years, so I'll be curious to see what it's like. But I'm starting to get the impression we have to cross these hills that I keep sort of shying away from. So I'm going to climb up, start the climb, which is going badly so far. Where are we at the moment? I'll show you. We are on the way to NZWF. Making good progress. From there, short hop to Queenstown. Short hop round here. Because it's hard work flying in formation. I mean, I've got the easy job here, just sort of sitting here hands free. You guys are doing a lot of work to keep up, and you're doing very well. Love to see all the DHC-4s in their different liveries. Yeah, the wrinkled sort of skin. I think that's really nice. There's Ed down there in the Canadian, I think. Ed's in. This is a firefighting scheme. This is, of course, a Canadian aircraft. They have it in Canada. Maybe there'd be less leverage if they did that. Indeed, Jack, yeah. It's surprising to think they need it, but they obviously think they did. Could be to do with the sort of the big flat sides, that it was too stable at the front. It's got a very tall sort of nose area. Makes me wonder what sort of beneath the pilots that requires that. Gentle climb now, keeping the speed up. That's good. And what's nice in this cockpit is you can click on most things, not everything. I don't think this emergency brake works, but oh, you can't do the engine fire systems either. So you know, that's why it's down at 16, I suppose. Or dilution? I don't think so. Start to maximum. Rudder pedal, hydraulics. You can't do windscreen wipers either, which is a shame. But we could do prop de-icing and boots. Do the boots work? Let's have a look. The question is, do they inflate? Or do they just take effect? Is that inflated? Or is that just the sort of texture? Let's turn them off. I don't think there's a visual difference. The only plane I've seen with that I know of is the Q400, the FlyJSim Q4XP, which is super, and that has that model perfectly. But hey. Right. Now, Wanaka is a ski resort mainly, but it is on the edge of a lake. And you've got basically a big flat lake and then a postcard mountain with snow cap on the other side. So it's really quite something. Let's just use some of this energy now. We'll trade it off for a bit of height to get over this hill. Bit of speed for height. Up we go. I don't know what the VX of this aircraft is. That'll be the velocity for the best angle of climb. Rate of climb is faster than that normally. But the point is, if you go a bit slower with less drag, the airplane will climb further in a shorter distance, which is going to give you the best angle, which is probably something like that. There we go. That's good. John says, I swear I'm not mashing the Yorkie every time I lose you guys. I thought about using the Yorkie to get over those mountains. There goes someone. Hey. Sardivar down there. In a Kodiak, I guess. Tempted to try the Kodiak, haven't done it yet. There's an Airbus. A big Airbus. Right, let's see where we're going to now. Yeah, okay. So where is it? It was, you know, in my mind, I remember it, and it was incredibly spectacular, but where is the actual lake compared to the airport? That's the real question. I might have to do a bit of Google mapping on the second screen here. Hold on. Google Maps. Wanaka. Right. Let's do directions from WF, which is Wanaka Airport. Okay. Okay, I've got it. I've got it. This will be fine. This will be fine. It's going to be just to the northwest. It's the lake I'm looking for. Evening, Valstom. I hope you're doing well. They need clearance to airdrop things too, says Richard. Yeah, I bet they do. In this pass, another town. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, it'd just be great when it's fly around here as a job. Endlessly breathtaking. Right. So. Off to the right. My GPS Direct 2 doesn't seem to be doing much. It seems to be pointing wherever we point. I don't know how useful that is. Now this is getting a little bit hairy, flying in the mountains, in the clouds. Get a chart, you'll be fine. Some excellent formation flying going on now. This is real top level stuff in terms of following during the flight today. Very impressed. Amazing. Oh, there's something ahead. So that is the lake I'm thinking of. So I want to get down low here and then see the lake from sort of this area. That's the town there. Let's see if we can do that. No. It's not a lighthouse. I have no evidence that there we are. I have no terrain between us and that. You trained as well as Mike. Yeah, it's really, really amazing flying going on. And I never make it easy to follow because I just make snap decisions as we go while flying these screw flights. We're going to keep descending. We're at 6,000 feet and I feel like we're actually not too far from the terrain. There's a little gap here. Let's head down. That's disappeared. Let's not head down. I think I have the icing model off still. Is the icing model in Microsoft Flight Simulator still broken? This would be very classic icing sort of territory. Temperature outside, yeah, pretty low. Under 10. This is perfect icing conditions actually. Jack says, first group flight I've done, game tag the Millers. Excellent, thanks for joining, Jack. Oh, maybe it's only broken for Phoenix. Okay, well, I think I have it turned off always then as a result. Almost there. Like I say, short. This is the legs are shorter after this one. Lagoon Valley sounds nice. Yeah, I was just saying that Phoenix life, indeed. Yeah, indeed. Let's do a little flyby of this lagoon, whatever that means. Can't see much here. Richard says engine sound on this. That is amazingly annoying. Is that on this aircraft or on the traffic around? There's not much here to see. Not like much of a city to me. Now I reckon we could land this on these slopes quite comfortably. It's got big chunky gear. Through this traffic, yes. They're called the shadows. Awesome. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah. So that is Wanaka town. The airport is just on our left. Okay. I don't have a POI done for the airport. We might skip that and head over to the town. That's where I want to go. I'm basically just indulging my own interest in flight sim now, and you're flying along, so I hope you're okay with that. This is North Europe server. Moggy Pot. Bowden Happy Sister Rain, pull up indeed, yeah. I reckon we could get this on and off the hill, no problem. It's one of those things with airplanes. This is a slow airplane, but you know, they can fly in a straight line. They do get the ground covered, no doubt about it. This is probably the most miles we've covered, except maybe the Hawk group flight we did at Christmas. We did Hawk at Christmas, not this Christmas, the one before. Then we did Africa, and then this one. So there's only one in the last year, really. It's pretty bad. Christian, thanks for the subscription. I don't know where that airstrip is. It must be absolutely tiny. There's Queenstown just down there. Oh no, it's not tiny. There it is. You can see it right there. Awesome. Well, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to head straight over to the town. There was the Ottawa one. When was that? I think that was certainly not this year. I don't think that was within the last year, Richard, but where I remembered. Richard said that when I tried the DC-6 with a bush plane and got the gust off that one. Oh dear. Yes. Yeah, DC-6 maybe not such a good bush plane. Nice chunky tyres, but aside from that, quite heavy and slow. Right, so here we go. Wanaka. I think you get the idea of why I'm so impressed with this town. You stand here. I don't know if you've been to Loch Ness in Scotland, but the clouds are sort of hiding it. When I was there, it was winter time, so you stood. Let's just power back, props up to max. I didn't realise it was 2,000 feet elevation, but yeah, you stood here and you looked out into that lake, and you could just see the snow-capped sort of mountains over there. It was just breathtaking. It stuck with me so. It's just one of my strongest memories. Yeah, you just stand in that. And it's just like a postcard. It really is just like you expect. And it's mainly a ski resort, like I say. Everyone here just goes skiing for the winter season. So it's full of like ski shops. Ah, beautiful. What a beautiful place. Right, before we scare all the locals. Very much postcard-esque, especially with the reflections in the still water. Yeah, and the water is still, because it's not the sea here, of course, it is just a lake, so it is this pretty most of the time, I think. Right. Oh, beautiful. Enough reminiscing. On to Queenstown, where we know very well, of course, so we'll do a landing there. Got to do a landing in Queenstown. See if we can do this whilst climbing it in a turn. I don't like seeing those shadows moving, but I'm not willing to look away. Come on. Almost managed. There it is. Right. Quick 180. Yeah, this is a place I'd like to come and live. I'd happily live in Wanaka. So, power back a bit, props back a bit, sort of climb thrusts. Around the turn we go. Yeah, this is definitely not pointing at anything. It's just pointing straight ahead. Lauren says, you're talking to someone from Michigan. Our lakes are very much not still. No. No, I suppose they're not. No, up in I think they're a lot bigger. But yeah, this is what this one always looks like. Well, I don't know if it always looks like this, but often. I suppose it's not got any big open areas. It's all these sort of side bits and so on. Maybe that helps stay a bit calm. Maybe it doesn't stay calm. Maybe someone from there would tell me off for saying that. Good stuff, right. Oh, we're going to be in the same problem then, aren't we? Which is we're going to have to climb and climb and climb to get there. We can do it. 1,000 feet a minute, look at that. Nose down trim. Bit more right needed. That's the pitch trim. Right. Go with that. Okay. Into the cloud again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I stood on this beach here. I did. I've got a picture of standing on this beach. Probably parked there many years ago now. Oh, this is we're doing well with the weather actually. This is all live weather, so almost good enough to do this trip. In reality. They are the Great Lakes after all, says RV. Yes, exactly. Ebos says, awesome group flight captain. New Zealand looks amazing. Much flight. Glad you're enjoying it, Ebos. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for saying so. I really appreciate it. RV says, this does feel like Scotland. Yeah. Scotland is spectacular as well in the UK. It's you know, you can feel like you're in Canada or New Zealand and you're just, a few hours drive from London. I say a few hours, quite a few hours. Probably 9+ hours by the time you're up in the really pretty parts, but yeah, it's quite something. Graham Christie says, sorry but not familiar with multiplayer. Can anyone fly along, or is it just by invitation? Anyone can fly along. You just have to jump into multiplayer, North Europe server, load up at wherever we are. So currently leaving Wanaka. This has been a bit of an endurance test. We've only had one landing so far. I hope aeroplanes are doing okay. I bet they need a bit of a break. So we'll stop at Queenstown for a short, very short break. I wish I could figure out the GPS. But yeah, it's Queenstown. Then we go to sort of, there's some nice sites around Queenstown. And then from there, we're going straight to the end, which is Quinton Lodge. Yeah. Yeah. Then we have an option to go somewhere else, depending how people feel. But by then, it would probably been 2 hours. Now this is a full IFR equipped aircraft right from the start. I might try using this gauge, short field approach speed at flaps 40. I don't know how you adjust this. I don't know if it's based on angle of attack or what it's doing, but we might try that on the next one. Pretty cool. the E bracket effectively, says Richard. So it does based on angle of attack. Very cool. Thank you, Richard. AC445 needs a refuel. Okay, yeah, Queenstown will be stopping to build up our nerve before heading to Quinton Lodge, which we're not going to fit in. Oh, we missed the Cardrona Alpine Resort. Ah, that's annoying. They modelled a really nice resort with sort of ski lifts. Unless that's here. No, that might be here, actually. I think that was on the way to Queenstown. I wish this would show now, you know. I really do. It really helped my group flights. Asobo, if you're listening. Really, I should have the coordinates for these things. I can take us there without those tabs. Here we go, back into the spectacular mountains. This just feels like the right aeroplane for this sort of thing. A big, heavy, high-wing piston. Now, ironically, I suppose not ironically, these ski resorts wouldn't be open right now, would they? Because it is sort of late summer. Yeah, this is what I wanted to find. I think it's one of these. One of these would be the town. Oh, a bit of rock and rolling. GD says, I really must learn to fly one or two of the propeller planes. Yeah, they're great. Propellers are great. Cardrona, there we go. So I'm guessing that second one is the resort. So let's keep climbing. Sam says, NZQN looking great yesterday. We released a stowaway grasshopper we caught on our flight. Excellent. Were you flying there for real? That's Queenstown. We did a stream into and out of Queenstown, and yeah, absolutely stunning. So Cardrona, here we go. So this is a sort of mountain town. I think they call it an alpine resort. Take a rider, thanks for the follow. Yeah, no snow in this part. Igloo says, here in Washington, some of our ski resorts are open during the summer on certain days for mountain biking. Use a list to take riders up. Now that is a good idea. That's my sort of mountain biking. Because we all know the absolute worst part is getting up the hill. Right, let's start slowing down because 4 kilometers is not that far away. Maybe we can land at the resort. Let's see. We'll do a little bit of a low, slow circle. We are at 6,000 feet, so this is pretty serious elevation. Performance is going to be slightly restricted, or very restricted. Let's get some flaps out. Oh, we do have a radio altimeter as well. Look at that. The radar altimeter. Very cool. Hadn't spotted that one. So, plan here. Let's see if we can spot somewhere to land. I'm not sure if there is. So, first stage of flap. Get the old head tracking on. Oh, there's that massive pitch up. Big balloon from the flaps. Second stage. Gear down. Right, we'll stay in this sort of circling mid configuration. It's deceptive, isn't it, in the mountains? We're descending at 500 feet per minute. Thought we were flying level for a bit there. So here's all the ski trails. I guess mountain bike trails maybe in the summer. Lauren B says, I feel a lot more confident on a mountain bike than skis or a snowboard. I don't know if I definitely don't feel confident on skis, but I can do it a little bit. That's cool. That looks just like The Shining to me. There we go. But there's no way to land there. Maybe there. Maybe there. I reckon we could do it. Yeah. That looks like the car park. I think we can do that. So I'm going to make a big right turn back around. Look at the scenery. Beautiful. Sinking at 1,000 feet per minute. Let's try and stay level. Just get an idea, just check there's nowhere better. No. Maybe we'll take our break here. Then we can just zoom down the approach for Queenstown. Let's go for the higher seating position. Annoyingly, I've turned the wrong way for this circle. So props to Max, mixture's rich. We have an easy option to go around. I've just turned in very tight here, so I'm making my life difficult. Just update the QH, not that I know what it is here. Okay. Oh, it's a bit tilted a bit more than I expected, actually. Someone has managed it. Oh, I don't know about this now. Oh, rocked and rolled by the wind. No. Full power. That's not going to work. Warhamster maybe is in the only spot we could have used. Is that going to work? Let's try that the other way. And here's the resort. Look at that. All the ski lifts. Very cool. Now, I'm having to use the rudder here, so let's get the nose round, because we're actually going to run out of performance in a second. Whoa, this is getting... That was close. Right, let's try once more, going the other way. We're going to come down this hill, then we can go around straight ahead if we need to. Heads down. We've lost someone. I'm not surprised. This is pretty ridiculous. By the way, another cool thing about this airplane is the way the ailerons droop. Very fancy for a plane of this generation. Gives it some really good short takeoff landing. So I'm going to fly down the ski lift and then land at the resort. And that's the next attempt, and then we'll just carry on if that has to. We are pushing good taste here. James got down. Excellent. People are in. Okay. Now, what does get hard now is I won't be able to see the probably won't be able to see the runway. All the name tags. Here we go. Here's the ski lifts. So power right back. Let's bring the nose round. Oh, I'm at a bit of a funny angle here. That's not good. And I'm definitely fast. What am I seeing when I fly the other way that makes me think that this works? That's not going to work. All right. Okay. We tried twice. That's grounds to give up. Full power. Let's carry on. We found the resort at least. Right turn now over to Queenstown. If in doubt, bin it. Yeah. No, there's no no sensible way I could get that to work out. Flaps coming in. Queenstown's just over here. Props back a bit. Power's back a bit. Mixture back. There we go. Head tracking's really nice for this sort of flying though. Right, we will land at Queenstown then. Which we know and love. Oh, just so pretty. And there you go, look, those ailerons are back up. Very clever. There it is. Ah, home sweet home. So familiar. Now, it's an exciting approach in a jet because, of course, they move so fast and fill up the valleys. However, in this airplane, it's probably going to feel very easy. We could do a circuit inside that valley. He says. Let's not get it wrong now. So, as I say, we'll do a short stop here, and then we'll head over to the lodge and see who can get in and out of that lodge, because that is something else. Now, I'm trimming nose down, but we're not accelerating. Come on, let's try and get that airplane. Let's get up to our VMO. The VNE is 205 knots. Quite an interesting airspeed indicator. You can see that we have the dial, and then the numbers are shown on small, sort of sideways dial. I don't know what you'd call that. Lateral scale. So we're doing 180. Yeah, I'm getting a major stutter. I assume it's just loading in, Dougal. I'm hoping so. Because, yeah, it's pretty bad. I hate this ASI, says Richard Dustley. Well, tell us how you really feel, Richard. It's taken me a while to get my head around it. It's okay, but yeah, I'd rather... You don't really need that bit, I suppose. I'd rather a slightly... I mean, this thing can't go at 300 or 400 knots in any circumstances, so why have we got it on the scale? If we could double the size of the scale, it suggests to me an off-the-shelf part. Yeah, this is awesome, says James. I agree. This is a very summery-looking Queenstown, I must say. Oh, I don't know about this stuttering, though. That's almost unplayable. Certainly not going to be very landable. Let's start slowing down now. Goodness me. There's a lot of places of interest just beyond Queenstown, which is what I wanted to go to, and I wonder if it's them sort of popping in. Richard says, I have cloud-based 0 AGL here. Oh dear, that's not so good. Yikes. What is it doing? James has got some amazing screenshots. Excellent, thank you. Right, props back up. Mixture's rich. Can't put any flaps out yet. Oh my goodness. This is unplayable at this point. Oh! A brief pause there of happiness. Now, the landing view I don't like in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I never use it, except in this aircraft. It is nice. I think because you've got so much glass above you. Or perspex, whatever it is. First stage of flat. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I think it was loading in those new bits. See all those points of interest. Loads around here. We'll do some slow flying once we get in the air. So I'm going to do the same trick. We're going to stop on the runway. You're going to take a break. And I'm going to take off from where I stop. Because we'll have no trouble. Let's do another short field. So let's go full flat. See if I can get that scale to go to slow. Or in the middle. The AOA marker in front of us. So that's low. So now we can get the nose up. Check the wheels are down. Thank you. That's why we check. Now let's drag it in. Nice and low. Full flap. Barely moving. What are we doing? 70 knots. Excellent. We're bang on that marker. I'm not sure there's two markers there though. Just flying the AOA. Go for the numbers ish. There we go. And stopped. It's great. It's absolutely great. Right, brake on. Bringing the flaps one stage. Okay, very short break. And then we'll get going. Let me just give you a bit of music. Right, we are back. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, a lot of stuttering as we went in here. It's all these places of interest, so we're going to slowly head out and just see a few of these. So I'm going to take off. Just to give you some warning, I'll be going... yeah, sorry. This is FS traffic is very noisy. Yeah, I'm going to have the 3 stages of flap. I'm going to take off, raise the gear, go to 2 stages of flap. I say 2, that is... What's that? About 20 degrees. And then we're going to enjoy sort of Queenstown Marina and a few of these other points. So let's go. Brakes released. Full power. I like that it shows us the other players' flaps and cargo doors and so on. I think that's really cool. $70 knots. We can get in the air with that. Amazing. Gear up. In fact, I'm going to stay at 3. I'm going to stay at whatever we've got, which is... Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't know why they've bothered writing those angles on there because I can't tell where I've set it. But anyway, the gear is up. Oh, we're gonna get some more stuttering. So here's the marina. Oh, that's noisy. Yeah, I see the problem. You know, if I go back to New Zealand, Queenstown is somewhere I'm going to absolutely have to go to. It's just too critical. TJ Turner, indeed, this is a group flight. Yep. Too critical to flight simulation. Now, I have to go and see it. And then we're going to head sort of west. I hope it doesn't do the stuttering as we leave as well. That would be a bit disappointing. So this is Queenstown itself, I believe. Reminds me a lot of Norway, actually. Norwegian fjords sort of living. Oh dear, really, this is really surprising that we've all encounter the same stuttering. It's reassuring it's not just me. It suggests that instead of it being a thing about how long I've been flying, it's more about where we are. But yikes. Oh, dear. I don't know how we got away with landing, frankly. What is going on? What's this one? It's a cool boat. I don't know what it is. It's not bothering to tell us. If I was visiting, I would definitely want to go on that. Oh dear. Right. That's ridiculous. I'm going to cheat here. Hold on, ready? Because it's not even responding to controls whilst it's freezing, obviously. So it's just becoming unplayable. Again, very sad. Very sad. We were doing so well. Still heading southwest. Alright, I'm turning off the head tracking because that's not helping anymore. Right, let's get the flaps up. Let's get away from the ground. Better over the lake. Okay. Yeah, maybe it is multiplayer, Sam. Yeah, you could be right. I mean, it's been fine for so long. A little surprised. I hope this stops because the next place we're going, we're going to need everything in our favour. Let's do a bit of power back, props back, a little bit of mixture leading. I don't know why I didn't load our route into the GPS. Flight simulators are testing my patience today. Although it is beautiful. It always manages to do just enough to make up for it. Right, we're going now to Tango 004. Now, please say that shows up in the GPS, because it was supposed to be on the map and it's not worked. It's a stable aeroplane, but it will fly into a mountain if I don't look after it. Yes, thank you. Let's go there. Great. Good, that's a relief. Dinner has no status. Very jealous. Is anyone managing to stay in formation? Is anyone still here? Oh, very good. Well done. So many of you still. Thank you all for flying along. Almost there now. And then we can all go and have dinner. There's AC455, the real AC455. That's great. So this was listed as one of their additional airports. There's not much there, but it's in a spectacular valley. So it should be fun. Won't be fun unless we get our frame rates back, that's all. Gently climbing, we're going to need it. It is up in the mountains. We can right a bit more. Oh, this could be... That's not... I was hoping there'd be not quite that many mountains. Alexander says I find traffic of any kind give me status. PGDR says, if I may speak my mind, I don't like such group flight that much because everyone is flying through each other. Fair enough. No, that's fine. This is a different sort of style. I totally get that. This really, I've always done these on YouTube. They're really a Twitch sort of thing, but I know a lot of people fly along from YouTube as well, so that's why I do them on both. But yeah, we don't do many of these, so don't worry. But I get a lot of requests for these because people who do enjoy them really enjoy them. I say that. I should have. It does depend, I'm sure. Because we got a real trouble here now. I mean, I don't take these as seriously, I would say, either as any of the airline flights. So when I fly any of the airliners, we try and do it properly, whereas this is purely sort of GPS, VFR. And I'm about to go into slew mode to get up into this mountain, because it's not going to happen otherwise. Come on, airplane, we can do it. Sam says, otherwise it's all just part of the charm. Quite neat to fly in a chaotic formation with other people committing aviation. Yeah, that's the fun of it, really. But I totally understand that this isn't for everyone. It's more than fair enough. Let's see if we can pick a route through. Right. Dear. I think this one's going to be quite high up in the mountains. What? Look at that lift coming off these hills. No, there's no real... That would be a good route. If we were over in this lake, if we could follow that through. Not going to happen today. Glad you're enjoying it, Delta Tango. Great to hear. Thanks, Dougal, as well. Appreciate it. As long as someone's enjoying it. Normal content will be resumed henceforth, don't worry. Here we go. This might work. This might work. I feel like the wind is helping us here. We're climbing very well suddenly. these are sort of a good excuse. Nick says, loved it until my sim crashed. Yeah, these are also quite a good excuse for me. I know I don't do them very often, but they're quite a good excuse for me to actually just... I'm effectively just playing Flight Simulator, quite literally. Now, this may have been a mistake. This valley might be the one that gets us, because we're back at... Now we've lost that lift that we were gaining. Our climb has not recovered as I'd hoped. I want to go for 100 knots. I want to go props up a bit. Power up a bit. Let's give it everything it can deliver. Oh. Keeping the wings level. Getting all the lift straight up. Hoping is never a thing in aviation. You're not allowed to hope you make it over the ridge. You need to know you're going to make it over the ridge, or you don't do it. Now, I actually think we're going to be okay here. I'm going to go straight ahead as long as I need to, and then make a left turn through that gap that Weird has just managed. There we go. Right. Excellent. Okay. Success. So, Kels Gaming, thank you so much, Kels, for the $10 super chat. Very kind. So, Kels says, just wanted to stop in and say thank you for the great videos. Just recently got the Phoenix A320, and your videos had me off and running in a day. Thanks again. You're very welcome. That's great to hear. I'm glad they're that effective. That's really nice. So really appreciate it. Thank you, Kels Gaming. Thanks for coming along, and thank you for the very, very kind super chat. Really, really appreciate it. That was a success and a half. I'm really happy with that. I thought that would have been the fun. Did everyone make it over? It looks all right. That was great. That was good. Ed's praying. Sam Glassy says some NZ turboprop ops would be neat to see down south. Yeah, so certainly I want to go back to New Zealand and fly some commercially. I didn't really think this was an airplane I'd stream in. It's quite different to my sort of flying, so that's why I thought I'd use it on a group flight. Could do an Antonov stream, but I know there's been a lot of those recently, so I thought maybe people would be a little bit... well, I just thought I'd do this. I don't know. I'm sure everyone would enjoy the Antonov as well. I think we'll do that soon. Because everyone's streaming it for good reason, which is it's entertaining, it's fun, it's different, it's difficult, that's for sure. I want to get the MD-80 back in the air as well. Got a bit of learning to do for that. Right, let's get the props back to where they should be. Okay, heading into the Merc. But yeah, thank you again to Celts Gaming, really appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. Ed says group flights are ace, glad you're enjoying them. Iglafoo says, I don't really watch other streamers, so would love to see an Antonov 225 stream from you. Oh, there we go. Thanks very much, Iglafoo. Really appreciate it. Yeah, fair enough. That's a good point. Well, the Antonov, it does do VOR course navigation. So we could do a flight like that. It's a difficult machine. There is a lot to learn on it, and I can't be sure. I'd like to do a stream Sunday evening. Whether I'm going to... I'm so proud of our climb, but that's actually gone out the window. We need to keep going up here. Yeah, in terms of getting the Antonov on stream for Sunday, that I'll have to have a see if I can get that done. I also want to get the podcast, next episode of the podcast done. Lots going on. Lots going on. Ed says MD-80 would be cool. Yeah, I'd like to do the MD-80. I need to get that up and running. Sam would like that as well. Okay. Now, chances are I can do the Antonov sooner than the MD-80 because the MD-80 is so different. I really liked flying it the time I did, but I've only flown it once and it's all gone out of my head. James is back at work. Oh, James is at work. Sorry, James. Hope it's treating you well. So we're effectively going to head up into, or above a valley, and then we're going to dive down into it to make our way to... Come on, map. Let's see you. There we go. Right. We're going to cross 1, 2, and then I think we sort of head into this valley like that. Or maybe it's like that. No. So we're going to sort of have to go north and then in this valley. That's what we'll do. So I'm going to follow this line and then make a slight right turn, follow that valley in. But really, the key thing here is keep climbing. Keep climbing, everyone. We can do it. Oh, James doesn't work on Sunday. I see. Is that right behind you? I thought so. Yeah, I thought James was fine. Sorry. It's only been 2 hours, but these I find these quite hard work in a way, not in a negative way, but in the sense that I lose track a little bit of where everyone is. N3 Sujan says NZ mesh cool. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good, isn't it? Ed says no need to rush the MD80. 2 to 5 we go to. Yeah, I'll see what we can do. No promises either that I can actually do the stream on Sunday. It's not guaranteed. See, if you get that nose up, you can really get this airplane climbing. Just got to get to the right speed. It's got a huge amount of drag. I thought that was AC was in a Air 2000 livery for a second there. Yeah, if you keep it back towards 100 knots, it climbs really nicely. It seems to really get a bit worse below 100 knots though. So you're going to be at 10,000 feet. Oops. Very satisfied with this purchase though. Very happy with it. It's showing off a lot of what Flight Simulator does best with the visual model. Some visual models in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I think actually in some ways they don't look very. I'm not going to name any developers here, but some visual models go into Microsoft Flight Simulator, and yes, the lighting and the scenery are all lovely, but the actual models, there's nothing to them. There's nothing to the textures, and they just sort of rely on the nice lighting and so on. Some. Very few, but there are some out there that I think are a bit like that, and that's not necessarily a problem. That might just be the way they're designed or is on purpose. But anyway, this one is the opposite. This is just showing off everything that you can achieve with a visual model in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You've got just the ridiculous detailing in the modeling and the panel lines. You've got the panels look relatively smooth, and then you get to the right angle, or the sun gets to the right angle, and you can see the rivets in them and the warping in them. You've got endless texture differences going on. You've got the stains behind the engines. You've got the heat blur out the engines. Just super. Iglu says the Dark Star group flight was a riot. So now was that? Well, we flew the Dark Star, didn't we? Was that a group flight, or was that just me flying? I can't remember now. Lauren B says, Mad Dog is a lot less complicated than it seems. 90% of it is trying to find what absolutely ridiculous place they put the switch in. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Now, it's in one of these valleys. So we're sort of going to MF, which is another one I wanted to go to. Now, MF is a possible last one. I don't think we're going to have time for that one. So we're going to head to Tango 004 just because I want to see you all try and land there. See if we will fit. I don't think we will fit. I think it's just it's a lodge. I think it's a sort of private strip for a specific, either a hotel or something like that. So there we go. There's the valley. We want to head to that entrance point. Okay, I think this is it. So we're going to go in and left. It's turning into like an ace combat mission. Down we go. I think this is the valley, in and around. Now I don't think there's any way to go around on this approach. It's utterly amazing. So let's have a bit of fun. Graham says this formation flying is better than Reds. Yeah, it's amazing how people are doing so well. And so late. The fatigue must really be setting in. This is 2 hours now of this. So well done. Glorious. Now, I wouldn't idle these engines at this point because I'm going to have to leave that map up, actually, to make sure I end up in the right value. We're just getting very badly. It says, lucked out there, switching to the spotter. Imagine if wake turbulence was enabled. Now, that would be good. Yeah, I'd love to see that. You joined the main server during a Twitch stream. That's what happened. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I don't want to get the wrong valley here, or we'll find that there's no airport at the end of it. You don't idle them until landing, it says Richard, as far as I know. There's a blue band for engines. Yeah, there you go. Because you don't want to just run them cold, especially in temperatures like this, because you'll just crack the cylinders or all sorts. Right. Here we go. Bearings will seize. Yep, there you go. Now again, deceptive in the mountains. Something I find flying any simulator in the mountains is that you lose a sense of whether you're climbing or descending. That seems to be the biggest problem I have. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that VSI, because what you can find is you're sinking a lot faster than you realise, and then you lose out on your chance to land. And then I'll go and have some dinner. I've got a vegetarian chili lined up. Which will hopefully be nice. Now, or we're going to get some serious turbulence here. Get some head tracking on. Absolutely love the head tracking for this sort of stuff. It's just great. Get the microphone out of the way. It helps it a lot. There we go. Hopefully you can still hear me. A bit closer like that. There we go. Right, doing 3,000 feet per minute there. Not necessary. I wonder if there's any charts of this. Whoa. That messed up the sim. No. No surprise there. Hinz sees himself. Excellent. Auto feather, Peter DR asks. So auto feather is a system. You'd use it probably on approach, certainly on takeoff. What it means is, with propeller airplanes, when we idle the engines, or if the engine shuts down, it acts like a big windmill because it's pointing across the air. So the air will spin the propeller, and that in turn creates a huge amount of drag from that propeller. It's a bit like a wind turbine. Obviously, it takes energy out of the air. So what we find is, if with a propeller airplane and the engine fails, that propeller will spin the engine round, and it will spin itself round, and it will cause a huge amount of drag, which will be unrecoverable. It means the other engine won't have enough power to keep you in the air. So what certain propeller airplanes have is an auto feather system that will actually, if it senses a loss of power on the engine versus what you want from the engine, it will feather that propeller, which means turning it across the wind so it doesn't spin. Oh, first officer's here just in time. Hello. Sorry, looking down at the cat. Right, she's complaining, of course, because I'm not sitting where she wants. Now, where is this lodge? There it is. Okay, I've brought us in way too high. That's not good. Okay, let's think. Let's get the speed back to 105. This is going to take some fancy manoeuvring. I'm going to get rid of the map because that's no longer helping. So this is where we need to land. This strip here. Obviously, you can't make it in that way. Oh dear. Let's see if I can turn around. Props up to max. Whoa, this is... I don't know who flies here or what they fly in. I need to go on YouTube and see if there is a video of someone doing this. Let's get full energy on the engines. I'm going to go as close to this wall as I dare. We've got 100 knots. I can go to 105 knots with some flap out, which will keep my turn radius in. First officer's leaving. She sensed the danger. Okay, there we go. That's all right. This value's okay. I'd want a fighter jet if I had to come in here, I think. Alright, that's fine. We got the energy, we got the speeds. We can do a nice steep turn round here. Keeping 100 knots. That's good. That's good. Okay. It's all about energy. Oh, we're not worried about the bank angle, Lauren. Yeah. Yeah, we've disregarded that. Easy peasy. Yeah, that was lucky that there was that sort of basin on the other side. So, we're going to have to do the same trick here. I think we'll go left. We'll come in from the left-hand side. A gentle descent, but I don't want to descend. I want to have descending as an option for gaining energy if I need it. So we'll leave the gear up for now. Get right close to this wall here. And then we're going to make a left turn and then a big right turn. Who would fly in here? And what on earth do they use? A helicopter, perhaps? It is a runway, though. No worries, Peter DR. You're very welcome. Right. Round we go. Same again. Keep that speed. Don't want to lose the speed. So power on. I mean, this was a military aircraft, so I bet they did funner things than this with it. There we go. No, that's not worked. I'm way too close. What am I thinking? Back where we were. I'm forgetting how slow this airplane is. We hadn't covered any ground. Right, we're a bit slow now, so power on. First lucky travellers are down. This airplane will stall. You'll hear it do the stall, the beep, beep, beep. Getting a bit fast now. Okay. There's Van Disaster. I can form up on someone else for a second. Van Disaster's getting a bit slower than me, though. Need an air brake for that. Right, let's go a bit further in this direction. Helicopters benefit from having a bit of runway to take off land with for efficiency, despite being able to do it vertically. So yeah, especially at this elevation, we're only actually 1,400 feet. It's not so bad. But yes, yeah, clearly this is surely a helicopter-suited sort of place, because helicopters, they have that rotor speed issue, so they can't actually just stop all the time. Right, let's try again. We're a bit lower. Let me zoom out. Maybe I can get a better idea of what's going on now. Gear down. Auto feather on. Next stage of flap. Love the head tracking for this. Full flap. Oh, a bit fast for that, really. Props to max, mixtures rich, gears down, got our 3 greens. So that's not a runway. It looks like a little clearing, but that's no good. Big problem here is an engine failure here in a helicopter. You better have 2 engines. So what do you do otherwise? Now let's see if we can spot that runway. And how'd you take off again? And how'd you go around? I suppose a place like Courchevel do exist. A bit fast again. Now I haven't practiced this. I did load up here to see what it looked like, but I haven't practiced landing here. I don't think there is a go around really. That's it. So power back. Clear these trees. Put on the steep approach speed. Don't want to get too slow. Bit fast. Down. They would have felt that, but I'd rather that. Goodness me. And there we go. Sparky says, I'm on the edge of my seat here more than the Concorde landing there. Oh, me too. That was tense. That was difficult. I'm going to have to see if anyone's ever been here on YouTube, but that is a ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous approach. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed that. A bit of fun just to see some of the sights of New Zealand. Normal sort of streaming content will resume soon. No worries there. But thank you all so much for coming along and joining in. No replay or anything like that, I'm afraid. But we'll have a bit of music in a second. But thank you so much. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I promise for the next group flight, I'll have some more Wikipedia facts ready. This was more of a scenery-focused flight anyway. That's my excuse. But thank you all for joining us. I really like this aircraft. If any of you are on the fence and you've seen the video, you'll see what it's all about. It is slow, but it's a nice add-on. But yeah, James made it in. Excellent. Fantastic. Yeah, this is quite an approach. But yeah, we shall see you all in another video or live stream or the podcast soon. So thank you very much. Thanks to the moderators for looking after us. Thanks for those of you typing. Thanks for those of you flying along, of course. And thanks to those who very kindly super chat. Really, really appreciate it. We'll see you again in the next video, live stream, podcast, group flight, Twitch stream soon. Do join the Discord for notifications on when the next of those is. Otherwise, keep safe and well. Have a great rest of your evening and day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.